budget law refers to it as a pre-meeting. So it's not a meeting where we'll be getting into specifics about the budget funds or any forecasts, but this is where we talk about your meeting schedule. We provide you with the materials so that you have them about a week ahead of time to review as desired, your first meeting being next Tuesday. So we do have a schedule for you. We'll walk you through the materials and just here for any questions that you have. We will also have Steve Dingle provide a public meeting law overview. We just think that's a good idea every year, especially since this isn't a committee that meets monthly by any means. So just refreshing all of our memories on what that process is. So I believe we're also still waiting for Steve Dingle, making sure that he didn't get on while I'm not looking. So we might come back to him and go forward in the agenda then. Unless the committee has any questions right off that you'd like us to do, we can jump into the proposed budget materials.
Any questions from the committee? Okay, Christine, let's move forward.
Okay. So I believe some of you have been able to pick up we prepare a binder of materials for you, and then all of the documents have also been loaded on Dropbox. And so some of those pieces will be covered later here in the agenda, especially the Dropbox process and the website and where to find the materials electronically if you would like to. Also good information for the public. They can see everything on our website, of course. But kind of looking to the binder, since we don't have any new members this year, I'll just let you know that it is going to look very similar to what you received last year. So you have tabs in your binder that have your schedule. You have contact information for each other. So you do have a contact information sheet there first that has everyone's emails, phone numbers. We don't make those public. We ask that the public send any additional information or public comment to the committee through the budget office. But just wanting you to be able to contact each other as you would like to. Calendar and schedule. Again, we'll go over the schedule a little bit, but you have had more communication from me this year on what the schedule looked like. We did receive input from the committee on the types of subjects you wanted to hear from. We sent a draft to you, Herb, as chair, to take a look at it. So if there's any questions or comments on it, let us know, but we're working ahead with that schedule. I will just update everyone that I sent an email out last week to everyone asking about the in-person remote mix of meetings. We've got some technology issues going on because Harris Hall is not available to us for the first meeting. So the feedback I received from the committee was predominantly you would prefer to be in person whenever that's possible, but that you were able to do remote if that was what we needed to do. So your first meeting next Tuesday, just to remind everyone, is remote. We don't have Harris Hall available because it's under construction, and we don't have the technology capabilities in the Board of Commissioners room quite yet to be able to hold both a remote meeting that does public comment and be in person. And it's because of that public comment happening that evening that we're not able to have the meeting that way. So it will be held remote, but then your work sessions will be in person in the BCC conference room. And we'll have an overflow room for people waiting to come on deck as presenters or anyone that wants to sit in there and watch the TV. And then the hope is that the last evening will be in Harris Hall. So that is the plan. They believe that it will be ready to go. So we will be the first meeting in Harris Hall. It should be available that week. So we'll let Tanya address the schedule and any questions you might have on that later on the agenda. You do have a reference quick guide in your binder. So that kind of points you to certain things within the document or within other materials. So just kind of the most commonly asked about pieces of the budget document. So that's in your third tab of your binder. And then we've continued to do service option sheets. Those, just to remind the committee, are related to the discretionary general fund being spent throughout the county. So on those funds, there's a summary, and each of the forms will total up to the total discretionary general fund that the county has available or plans hopes to have available next year through the budget. So no change to those forms at all as far as format. They're going to look very familiar to you, those of you that have reviewed them in the past. Then we go into, there is some information on county dues. There's just some overarching county-wide dues that the county pays, like to be a member of the Association of Oregon Counties, LCOG. These are paid for the most part out of general expense, our non-departmental budget. So that's why we highlight these for you. Departments, of course, have their own dues and membership that they participate in, but if they're specific to a department, they'll be found within the department budget. So this dues is just referring to those countywide ones. We've also, again, done a document related to the FTE changes that are occurring in the budget from current year to next year. So that it's hopefully an easier reference for you. Departments are, of course, talking about these things throughout the sections of the document specific to their department. But this is going to be one page that you can find what's happening, which department, which bargaining unit, the amounts of FTE, and a brief comment on why the change is occurring.
Excuse me, Christine, can I ask a question?
Yes.
I just got back into town a few minutes ago and hopped on here. You're referring to the binders. Are you talking, is there a physical binder back at the, for me? Okay, I haven't been in my office.
There is, yes, yes.
Okay, great. It's like, I'm not following along. Is the screen supposed to be sharing something? Okay, great, thank you. All right.
I know we hot off the presses as of Friday. I think we got the document and everything back. So I know it's quick turnaround here before you get your orientation. If we were in person, that part would be a little
I just want to make sure I wasn't missing something. Thank you. I wasn't able to get onto the Dropbox before this. I didn't know you were walking us through that or what. Thank you.
Yes. Then the document itself. Starting out with a budget message. So the document itself also has no major changes, no new sections. You're going to see the same types of information that you had last year. Just a reminder that not every department is presenting to you this year. That was at the committee's request. So I would refer you to their specific section of the document then. That's the written report you're going to receive from them unless you have questions for them, of course. So anything that you have there. So again, the financial summary, the quick finder kind of points you to some of those sections, but the financial summary is a great place to start. And of course, the budget message that you'll hear from the county administrator, which is an overarching kind of what's happening right now, talks a little bit about each department, and then you can get into depth with the department. And that really is all related to the materials. So as we mentioned, they'll be in Dropbox on our website. But that's the start of what we have for you to begin. And let me see if either of our Steves has been able to join us. I'm not seeing either of them. Let me see if we can find out what's going on there. So why don't we skip on the agenda again? And I don't want to hold us up. So we'll have Jill, Joe, and Tanya will each kind of take on a subject related to Dropbox, our county website, and then a little more detail of the meeting schedule and actually walk you through it. Even though it's in your binder, we'll bring it up on the screen. So, all right, I will turn it over to them.
All right, hello, I will go first. Let me see if I can get my screen shared here. Tanya or Christine, I think I may need those permissions.
Be able to share now, Jill?
Let me try. I was waiting to hear from someone. Okay, let's see if it'll let me go. This is learning a different platform. We're used to using Teams and now trying to navigate through this. It's actually not showing me my second screen. It's highlighting it, but it's not showing it for me. So that's not helpful. Okay, here it goes. There it goes. Okay, please let me know when you can see it. Tanya, can you see that?
See, Jill.
You can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. Okay, so this is Dropbox. So today you should have received an email notifying you that I was sending out kind of a refresher email. I do that each year so that you can see that we've updated the budget information, because we'll typically leave what we have updated in there from prior year all year long. So I just removed everything from 21-22 today and updated it with what we have so far for 22-23. As you're going through, you'll see exactly what Christine just talked about as you walk through those different tabs in your budget binder. This is going to mirror that physical binder the same way. So you'll have access to all of the same information with within each one of these folders.
Jill, we're not seeing your Dropbox screen. We're seeing your journal entry page.
I wonder why it did that. Sorry.
That's okay. Now we see Dropbox.
That now?
Yes.
Thank you for saying something. I'm not quite sure why I had it up there just a moment ago. So, okay, so I apologize. I'll go back here. So again, here's the folders for the Dropbox budget materials. These are the tabs I was saying that Christine had already gone over. Following through your physical binders, also going to be in Dropbox in the same order. Agendas and so on, sauce forms. Going down here to the question and answer piece, this is the one change that we made last year, and I believe we're going to be following the same process again this year, where any questions that are asked by the committee in a remote setting will update the sheet so that everyone on the committee can see those questions being asked and answered, and also we'll be providing that feedback in emails. That's pretty much what I have for Dropbox, unless there are any questions. I will take that as a no. On to you, Joe.
Okay, could you pass over screen control to me? And again, let me know when you can see my screen.
We see it. Thank you.
Okay, good. Once again, this is all very much the same as you guys have seen previous years. Basically, much of the material that is in your binders is also located in here, from the schedule. Don't worry, this contact info is very died down. It's just the community members of the committee and what their term is and stuff like that. Not your address or anything like that. We have to post, of course, legal notice out. So that's out there, and things like that are in your binder, like the list of proposed dues, the FTE changes, the quick finder. Also on this page, you will find all of the service option sheets, a summary of them, and all of them individually lined out here. If we had community funding request forms, that detail would be here. However, we did not receive any for this fiscal year. And even though this kind of seems a little bit sparse at this point, as the meetings go on, we will be populating this with handouts that are going to be applicable to the meetings, and but you'll see the most up-to-date agenda, minutes, and other meeting materials as we go through the process. So unless there is any questions about the website, okay, I will pass it over to Tanya then.
So do you want to just stop sharing your screen? Did you? Otherwise, I'll take over control of your computer, and I don't want to do that.
Joe, you're muted.
You not finding out how to unshare my video.
Try the top of the screen.
You want to give me a hand here where I
Gotta
should
be-
be finding this stuff?
I can't unshare. You have to unshare it. So at the top, you'll see an option to stop sharing.
Worst case, you could exit and re-enter if you wanted to, Joe. I'm assuming that will stop.
Why don't I do that? Because I'm not seeing any.
Hoping that will, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any controls to unshare my screen. So my apologies, folks.
While you're apologizing, Joe, my compliments on the thoroughness and efficiency of the website. That is pretty wonderful. Good work.
You're very welcome. Okay.
I have to wait until you exit in order to share my screen. Like Christine said, the response back was to have meetings in person. And so the first meeting with public comment will be held hybrid remotely due to the technology not being available in the BCC conference room. But the meetings after that are going to be held in person. And waiting for Joe to leave.
Are you in full screen mode by chance? I'm wondering
Might
if that's
be.
why you're not seeing the menus.
You're sharing your screen, Joe. Look at one of your other screens. The menu might be on the top of one of your other screens. So the
Sorry, folks. I can't seem to unshare my screen.
Sometimes there's a menu at the bottom that says share screen. Look down at the bottom of your screen.
There you go.
There we go. Thank you, Joe.
Sorry about that, guys.
All right.
Yep, we can see the schedule there. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so the work sessions, 1, 2, and 3, we are condensing down to 3 this year, and they will be held in the BCC conference room. I mailed each of you, but the citizens at large, a parking pass that you should have received or will be receiving shortly. And you can park in the open lot next to the public service building and come in. The BCC conference room is on the 2nd floor. You can enter through the county admin office. And we'll be having an overflow meeting room in the Bob Straub so that we'll try to not allow for a huge amount in the BCC conference room. So May 5th, May 10th, and May 12th will be in the BCC conference room. And then the construction that's being done in Harris Hall for renovations, we've heard that it will be done and we will be available for that May 19th meeting to be in Harris Hall. So that is a change that we did schedule that in the BCC conference room for that night, but we will be able to be in Harris Hall for that evening. And we will be able to have a hybrid meeting so that we will have public comment available to us that night. Are there any questions about the schedule? Great. Okay, well, we're looking forward to seeing you guys all in person.
Tanya, this is Herb. I have one question real quick, just to make sure that we all end up on the right link at the right time on, I guess it is the 3rd. Can you send us out a refresher like the day before?
Absolutely.
Something like that, so it's at the top of our calendar with the correct link for us as committee members to join?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
All right, and it does appear that actually we will not have the Steves join us today. I apologize. So schedules change at the moment's notice. So, let's see what I can provide as additional information for you maybe. One thing that I'll note for the members who are newer, we will also provide dinner that evening meeting. So we'll send you out information, but want to feed you ahead of time. Sometimes that evening can go a little bit longer. Oh, I do actually have Steve Mokrahysky calling me. So hold on just a minute. Let me take this. I apologize. I know we're live on air, but we're going with it. Hold on.
In the meantime, Laura, you and I can do that PowerPoint presentation showing pictures of our grandchildren if you would like.
I want to see more cattails in the picture. Yeah, I was seeing Lori's at the beginning and Heather's there a little while ago. Mine hasn't made an appearance yet. There's my helper in the corner there.
Oh.
Poodle tails are far more interesting, Jay.
All right, I apologize. Steve Mokrahysky sends his regrets. He said he will speak with you all next week during his budget committee or budget message to you. So if you have any questions in the meantime, after you start looking at the documents, please send them to us. I think that's the other thing I wanted to touch on was just the question answer process. We really haven't officially changed anything related to the process. If the committee wanted to make any additional comments, we have it so that you can send in written questions to us. We do have the 15-minute rule, just about if work has to be, if it's going to take more than 15 minutes, there may be times we come back to you as a committee to ask about the time being spent by departments. So I know we had quite a bit of discussion on that last year, both prior to the meetings and after. So if there were additional comments, but at this point, same process of please go ahead and send them to us, and we will pass them on to departments and kind of do that review as we get them. And then I guess the one thing that I think you're all aware of with, I don't want to play lawyer here at all, but related to public meeting law, just the reminder, we remind you when we send out emails, please don't reply all. And anything that's those serial meetings that Steve Dingle has walked us through before, making sure that you're not talking with each other and then talking with each other and talking with, different ones of you coming to some kind of potential decision outside of the public meeting. So we just want you to talk about all of that on camera with all of us. So, but let us know if you have any questions on that. Again, because we have an experienced committee here, I'm sure that you're all well familiar with that. So with that, I think we're available for any questions, if you have any, but we don't have to spend the full time by any means.
So Christine, I have a question real quick. I think I heard Joe say that there were not any community requests. Is that correct?
Oh, correct.
And did we have a formalized process? Was there a timeline and a deadline and so forth? And can you refresh us a little bit about how that went this year?
Sure. Joe, do you have those dates off the top of your head? I might turn it over to him. He handles it, posting the, go ahead, Joe.
Yes, they were, They're usually sent out early, notification is sent out early February, late January. Our deadline for receiving requests from the community was March 12th this year. And as of March 12th, we had received none.
When we say sent out, maybe I'll just provide a little more information on that. We post this on our website. So I think as the committee is well aware, this is definitely not a solicitation for funding requests. We're not saying that the county has funding available. It more is like if you have this need, and we've seen that lots of times it is somebody maybe that has worked with one of our departments on something. And so they're aware of the process. So it is purposely meant to be somewhat scaled down. We don't want to get people's hopes up. There isn't a funding source for this. It really is just if anything needs highlighted. And of course, as we saw last year, budget committee members are able to bring things forward. If you do happen to hear from somebody as we go through the process, feel free to let us know that, and you can bring up proposals of your own. The reason we do we put this out for community request ahead of time is just trying to get it into the flow. If there was an advisory committee to the board that works in that same area, we would ask them to weigh in, or the department potentially if it was a service that the county was providing. So if you do hear anything, the sooner the better, that we know about it, so we can loop in people to have that information to you available on that last night before you're making any decisions.
Yes, thank you, Christine. That's what I was thinking as well. The committee had brought forward this idea that we really wanted to make sure that there was time allowed for that consultation and so forth, and that we didn't get presented things without the ability to get a full view of what they were and insight from the rest of the party. So thank you. Any questions, other questions? I think we've all kind of done this before. Christine, any other topics from you or your team?
No other topics from us today. Nope.
Okay. And then I guess I would still say that if anything does come up, we could all drop you an email.
Yes.
And get that from you.
Perfect. All right. We will see you all next Tuesday then.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
I'll see you at 7 tonight.
Okay.